Hi everyone, welcome to Cloud by V YouTube channel. My name is Virender. So in this particular video box, we are going to talk about a very important topic in AWS compute section, or as well as that is also related to the networking section as well. That is known as Elastic Network Interface, or we can call it as ENI as well. As I was going through to the internet and over the YouTube as well, and I have seen that no any specific detailed video or any specific detailed resource is available for this elastic network interface section, and basically this concept is very important in terms of if you are an a corporate employee, or maybe you are an AWS enthusiast, or maybe you are learning this Amazon Web Services or any other cloud provider as well. This elastic network interface is it's such a topic which can help you in many different ways in your organization, maybe, or when after learning this Amazon Web Services cloud provider, and when you will be giving interviews, so many interviewers are also asking questions on this elastic network interface, use cases of elastic network interface, and why exactly an organization should use this ENIs basically, right? So in this EC2 section on the AWS Management Console, if you go to this network and security section on the left hand side, you can see there is an option available of network interfaces. That is what is your elastic network interfaces basically. If you click on this info button over here, they have given this specific technical definition of this ENI basically, right? Once you read this, maybe or may not be, you will not be able to understand this network interface basically. So in this particular video, we are going to see what exactly this network interface is, why we use this elastic network interface, and how exactly we can use this. So this will be a practical video. This entire video will be a practical video in which we will create different AWS resources to see that how exactly this elastic network interface can help an organization in different ways basically, right? So we will be following a very good approach, very interesting approach, in which we will be creating multiple AWS resources, in which we'll create some EC2 instance. You can see I have pasted over here. This is the entire architecture of this entire practical demonstration video, in which what exactly is going to be happen is that we will create security groups. We'll create one security group for your EC2 instance. We'll create one security group for your elastic network interface. We will create one network interface and we'll attach it with the EC2 instance, which is your virtual machine. That is right. We'll create one elastic IP address, and then we'll associate this elastic IP address as well. Now, why we are doing all these things, what exactly the agenda of doing all these things is because of the elastic network interface. So this network interface, this exactly what is this thing is that, see, try to understand in that way. Suppose this is your elastic network interface, right? Let me just write it over here. You can write ENI or elastic uh, network interface, right? This is your ENI. Now, first try to understand that this elastic network interface is nothing but it's just an elastic or it's just a network card. What exactly this network card is, we are not understanding. No worries. I'm trying my best to make you understand that what exactly this network card is. So we have different virtual machines in the AWS, right? You're using AWS cloud or any other cloud provider as well. Maybe you are having multiple virtual machines, or maybe you can have one virtual machine. So this network card is basically for your virtual machines only, right? Now, what exactly it can help these virtual machines, in what way it can help these virtual machines is basically multiple elastic network interface can be attached to a single virtual machine. The virtual machine is basically called as an EC2 instance in the AWS cloud. So let me just write over here virtual machine, or you can call it as EC2 instances, right? So you are creating a machine virtually, and then you will be able to create your web server, application server, or maybe different cases, we can create a database server as well. So once you create that particular server, you can attach multiple network interfaces or multiple network cards to a single virtual machine, right? So what exactly happens when you create this virtual machine? It basically gives you a private IP address, right? Now, it's in your hand that you can choose to attach an elastic IP for a public IP address as well for your virtual machine. What exactly happen whenever you create a virtual machine, it will get a public IP by default, or it will get a private IP by default. Public IP is basically in your hand. If you want to assign or you want to auto assign the public IP to your virtual machine, you can do that. But if you turn off that, then AWS is not going to assign a public IP to your virtual machine by default automatically, right? But you will get a private IP by default whenever you create this particular virtual machine. So when you are attaching this elastic network interface to this particular virtual machine, you have to make sure that you have your EC2 instance in the same subnet as your elastic network interface. So what exactly I'm talking about is that there is a virtual private cloud. This is your virtual isolated environment, private isolated environment inside AWS, which is called as VPC, virtual private cloud. Now, when you create this virtual private cloud, you will assign some classless interdomain routing range to this VPC so that you can take maybe you can assign those IP addresses ranges to your resources, and once you create this VPC, you can divide this VPC into multiple subnets, and you can divide that CIDR range IP address to these multiple subnets as well. Now you have to make sure that if you create this virtual machine in this particular subnet 1, you should create the elastic network interface in the same subnet as well. So that is what is the first, maybe you can say, this is a specific important point you need to consider over here, is that you can attach the elastic network interface to your EC2 instance, but you have to make sure that instance should be in the same subnet as the ENI. Now, whenever you use elastic IP address in this particular case, suppose your instance is having a public IP address. So whenever you turned off, or maybe you shut down your EC2 instance, or you stopped your EC2 instance, and whenever you are basically restarting your EC2 instance, the public IP is going to be changed for your virtual machine. Now, to have a static IP address which should not be changed every time when you restart your EC2 instance, you can use elastic IP addresses inside AWS. That is known as elastic IPs. But once you use these elastic IP addresses, these are chargeable from the AWS side, right? Now, you will also be charged for the elastic IP address that is basically associated with your elastic network interface as well. So this point also you need to consider over here, right? That is that you're going to be charged by the AWS for the elastic IP address that is associated with your network interface. But the ENI, the network interface, is not attached to a running instance, right? That is the main point you need to consider over here. Now you can attach, you can detach the secondary interfaces on an EC2 instance, but you cannot detach the default network interface card which is attached by default to the virtual machine. So these are the different points you need to consider whenever you will try to work with your elastic network interface. So overall, what exactly is the entire message which I wanted to convey over here is that these elastic network interfaces are just like your network cards, which basically allows you so that your virtual machines in AWS, or maybe you will be able to connect your virtual machine to different networks. Maybe you may have a virtual machine which is not having a public IP address, it is only having a private IP address, and your organization has created this virtual machine so that it can only be talked inside the internal organization. Now you want to make sure that this virtual machine should also be able to connect to the public internet as well. That means there is a private network to which this virtual machine is connected, and you also want to connect this virtual machine to the different network as well. For that phase, you will be using the network cards, the Elastic Network Interface cards. It's just similar to your laptop. So suppose you are sitting in your office and now your laptop is connected to your internal private network of your corporate office, but you want to connect your laptop to different network as well. You can do that with the help of network cards. How exactly this Elastic Network Interface works inside AWS, that thing we are going to see practically in just couple of moments, right? To start with, we'll go with the first point over here is known as the security group. What exactly the security group is? Security group is basically a virtual firewall which you can attach on your virtual machine level, on your instance level, so that it will be able to protect the incoming traffic to your EC2 instance, and you can have your own inbound rules, and you can specify the information as in terms of from which protocol, from which port range a traffic should reach to your EC2 instance. That is the thing you can consider, or you can configure with the help of this security group over here. So first we'll create a security group for the EC2 instance or for the virtual machine we are going to create, right? So let me just give it a name as this is the security group which we are creating for the EC2 instance. Security group for the EC2 instance, which means we are creating a virtual firewall for the EC2 instance. We will be using the default VPC, and in the inbound rules, see over here, there are the sections of inbound rules and outbound rules. You can see that outbound rule is by default all the traffic is allowed to go outside from the EC2 instance, right? That is the main point of the security group, is that by default it allows all the traffic to go outside, but you can define that who can come inside. So whoever is you will be putting over here is that maybe from TCP, from HTTP, or from any other specific type of the traffic you are allowing over here from the specific port range will able to allow to enter inside your EC2 instance, and they will automatically vent or maybe go outside from the EC2 instance. Right now I'm going to provide HTTP traffic from the port range 80 anywhere IPv4 from the internet will able to communicate with my EC2 instance, to which this security group is going to be attached by me. I will click on this create security group option over here. We have created one security group for the EC2 instance. Now we are going to create a security group for the Elastic Network Interface as well. So let me just go with the name. Let me just give it name as Network Interface Security Group. That is a cool name. So this is the security group for the EN, Elastic Network Interface, in the same default VPC. Now in the inbound rules, let me just click on this add rule over here, and I want to allow HTTP traffic to this particular Elastic Network Interface from anywhere from the internet will able to allow to communicate to this Elastic Network Interface or to the EC2 instance to which this ENI is going to be attached. Apart from HTTP, I'm also allowing that everyone will able to SSH into my EC2 instance from the internet. And let's just click on this create security group. Now we have created two security groups so far. Yeah, let me just show you where are those security groups. See, this is the network Neto work. I have given the name as Neto work. Never mind. Let me just okay. Security group for instance. Let me just check. This is the EC2 instance. I think this is the security group we have created. Okay, these are the two security groups we have created. No worries. Let me just move towards the instance section. Now let's just try to create our web server. Okay. Okay. Now this is the virtual machine we are creating for the Elastic Network Interface. So I'm just giving new name as ENI server. So basically what is going to be happen over here, once we create this virtual machine, we are going to check that if we are getting response from the internet from the server or not, while using elastic network interface and also with the help of elastic IPs as well. See, you will see the magic at the end of this video, but be with me, trust me, you will get so many important information from this particular video. Now we are creating this virtual machine for the ENI. I'm just selecting this Amazon Linux AMI application and operating system image. So what exactly it is, suppose whenever you purchase a new laptop, it will come with the operating system, right? But once you want to install your own operating system, because without operating system you cannot run any specific machine or computer system. So there manually you are just installing the operating system, and it will take a lot of time and efforts as well, because it will have all the information related to the applications and the operating system and all the softwares inside your computer system. But what AWS is allowing us, that you can use an application, Amazon machine image, in which automatically all the operating system related, server related and application related informations are already being installed inside this AMI. So you can just select this AMI and you can proceed with the other things. We have a couple of instance types available. You, depending on the use case of your organization, you can choose a specific virtual machine type, depending how many virtual CPUs you want, how much one gigabits of memory you want, what should be your current generation of the virtual machine you want, and you can just select according to the use case of the organization. Key pair is basically will be the combination of public key and private key, right? Private key is going to be download inside your local system, and public key is going to be attached to your virtual machine basically, and you can use this key pair to securely access your virtual machine from a third party tool as well. This is what is your key pair is. In the network settings, I'm just selecting this default VPC, right? But let me just click on this edit button in the default VPC, right? Now there is a specific subnet option over here, that in which subnet you want to create this EC2 instance. So let me just click on this first subnet in the US East 1B availability zone, and the public IP you want to assign automatically. Yes, I want that automatically the public IP should be assigned to my virtual machine. And in the security group section, just click on this select existing security group, and let me just select the EC2 instance security group which we have created, in which we have allowed the HTTP traffic to enter inside my EC2 instance. Apart from that, there is an advanced detail section over here, in which you will be able to see a user data section is available over here. See, the user data section is available. So it just, you can write an automation script over here. I have already written the script, and let me just paste it over here, in which I have written updated all the important HTTPD services, and one HTML web page is going to be shown by this virtual machine once I will be trying to HTTP or SSH into this virtual machine. Let me just click on this launch instance, and in just a couple of seconds, this virtual machine is going to be in the running state, and then you will be able to connect with this particular virtual machine. Right now the instance state is in the pending state, you can see over here. But once you select this virtual machine, there is a section over here named as networking. So what you exactly need to do is that you should select, we need to copy the subnet ID. Let me just open my notepad over here. So this is the subnet ID we need to copy from here, and apart from that you should also copy the availability zone. If you can remember, then you can also just, it's just an information that you must have before, because it will be used in the upcoming section. So subnet ID and availability zone ID should be known by you, right? And once you copy that, now what exactly you need to do is that you can see that now the instance is in the running state as well. In just a couple of seconds we have created our first virtual machine. Now we need to create the network interface, right? So we create this network interface and we are going to attach it to the EC2 instance. A default network interface is basically created, you can see over here, which is in the use the instance. This is the instance ID which we have created. So as I have already told you that whenever you create a virtual machine, a default network card should be given by the AWS to your virtual machine basically, right? So you can provide a description to your network interface card. So we are creating secondary ENI because the primary ENI, which is your Elastic Network Interface card, the primary card is already attached to your EC2 instance. So we are creating a secondary ENI for the same EC2 instance, right? Now here you need to see that you should select the same subnet in which your EC2 instance is created. So let me just copy the subnet ID from here and let's just put over here. So this is the subnet in which the EC2 instance is created over here. Do you want to assign another private IP to your EC2 instance automatically? So yes, I can assign. I can select this auto assign. Apart from that, what exactly you need to do over here is that you need to select the security group which you have created for the ENI. This is the network interface security group we have created for the ENI, in which we have allowed HTTP and we have opened the SSH type of the traffic as well. And that's it. Click on this create network interface card. Network interface card is going to be created. Now you can see there are two network interfaces. If you just go, this is the EC2 instance to which to the EC2 instance this network interface card is attached. Let me just give it name as primary, which is the default, and let's give it name as secondary because we have manually created this. Now just select this secondary network interface card, go to the action over here, click on this attach option over here. Now we need to attach the Elastic Network Interface to the EC2 instance. Select the default VPC and this is your instance which you have created, right? And let's just click on this attach option over here. So the secondary network interface successfully attached to your same EC2 instance. Now, after this network interface, we also need to use the Elastic IP address as well, so that we will get a static IP address, so that every time whenever we restart the virtual machine, we will not have to face the same problem of changing the public IP address of the EC2 instances. So for that static IP, we should use the Elastic IP address. So the Elastic IP address that you want to use, you need to allocate one to your account and then associate it with your instance or the network interface card to anything you want to attach. So first you need to allocate the Elastic IP address in your account. Allocate, right? After this, you need to associate this Elastic IP address with the network interface card. Now you can see one Elastic IP has been given to your account. You just select this and go to the actions and associate Elastic IP address. Now you will get two options over here. You can directly attach this Elastic IP to your virtual machine or your network interface card as well. So now you need to choose the network interface card. Now to which network interface card you want to select this for the secondary, because primary is already having the public IP address which is given to your EC2 instance. And which is the private IP? This is the private IP we want to attach to the network interface card. Got it? Click on this associate button over here. Great. Now if you go to your EC2 instance, you will be able to see a different types of changes in your EC2 instance basically. What type of different changes? If you click on this instance over here, can you see that we have two private IP addresses available? We have Elastic IP addresses available and we have public IP addresses available over here. So we have one public IP, we have one Elastic IP, and we have two private IP addresses. One is given by the default Elastic Network Interface card, which is by default attached to your EC2 instance when you create, and second, private IP is given to your Elastic Net to your virtual machine by the secondary Elastic Network Interface. Right? What you can do now, you can just go to your network interface. This is your network interface. Let me just refresh it. And what you can do, you just copy the public IP address of both the network interfaces to check if the server is responding or not. Let me just paste this public IP in the browser tab. So you can see that response is coming from the server. And let me just copy the second public IP of the interface card and let me just paste it over here. And let's see if it is also giving us the response from the internet. So you can see we are getting a response from both the network interfaces card. That means now our EC2 instance is attached to two different networks and we can access that EC2 instance from both of the networks. So that is what exactly is the concept of your Elastic Network Interface, in which we can attach Elastic Network Interface to a single EC2 instance. Multiple ENIs we can attach to a single EC2 instance, so that we will be able to attach, or maybe we will be able to connect the virtual machine to different networks at the same time. So let me just delete. Currently it is in the use, so it is in the use of, with the help of this EC2 instance, which is in the shutting down state. No worries, this EC2 instance is going to be terminated soon, and I'm going to delete all the resources which I have created as the Elastic IP. I need to disassociate, or then I need to release the Elastic IP. Otherwise, we are going to charge by the AWS. So I'm going to delete the security groups, and I'm going to delete the network interface card as well. So first let me disassociate this Elastic IP from here, and now just select it and just click on this release IP address so that AWS can give this Elastic IP to the different users as well. Right? Once you do that, go to your network interface card. No network interfaces are available. It is showing because we have deleted the EC2 instance. And let me just delete this secondary network interface as well. Okay, so we have deleted all the resources apart from the security group. So there are two security groups we have created, network interface and EC2 instance. Go to the action and click on this delete security groups. Delete, and that's it. That's it, folks. That is it for today's video. I hope you all have enjoyed this video and you got to know the concept of Elastic Network Interface and how exactly we can attach that to multiple single EC2 instance, how we can attach multiple Elastic Network Interface, and what exactly this concept is. So if you have enjoyed this video and if you gain some knowledge from this particular topic of the network interface and the Elastic IP address, do hit the like button and comment positive, negative, whatever you think about this particular session. You just comment out, and your comments will motivate me to create more videos like this. And trust me, I'm going to provide all the specific knowledge which is required in this Amazon Web Services to make you master in this particular Amazon Web Services cloud. So thank you so much again for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye. We'll meet in the next video with the next new topic. Thank you so much. Bye bye.